but it's also an opportunity to prove himself that he made the right choice last summer. Adrian Wojnarowski has more.
They call him the Greek Freak for a reason. When Giannis Antetokounmpo, the NBA's two-time most valuable player, considered the summer of 2021's landscape, he did so with the understanding that Miami's Pat Riley harbored something of an obsession with making Milwaukee's superstar the final free agency conquest of a glorious front office career. The Greek Freak is the Heat's transcendent star, precisely how old man Riles fantasized living out his golden years on South Beach.
It's back-to-back titles for the Heat. The NBA championship resides once again in Miami.
Only Antetokounmpo never did become enamored with leaving to chase a super team. He wanted his own at home in Milwaukee. He signed the $228 million Supermax contract and banked his faith on the talents of Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday and the judgment of Bucks Governor Mark Lazary and General Manager John Hurst.
The Milwaukee Bucks lose. The best team in the NBA is gone.
It just were never right in the restart.
Hopefully we can build a culture in Milwaukee for many years that we can come out here and compete every single year for the championship.
At his core, Antetokounmpo has been inclined to revel in the hard work of what he wants most in this world. And that's so much of the reason the Bucks didn't manipulate the final week of the regular season to avoid Miami in the first round of these Eastern Conference playoffs. Yes, Miami beat Milwaukee in the bubble last season, and now Giannis Antetokounmpo must go through Miami again. Whatever Riles wanted for his twilight years, this series represents something of Giannis's own obsession for his prime. One more championship chase through the heart of Heat culture.
Listen, we've been talking about the mindset of Giannis and Woj. I think you really summed it all up perfectly. The journey that he's on and where he's trying to go. But how would you describe what Milwaukee is building, trying to build, and what their goal is for this season?
Well, listen, they're on the clock now to try to win championships in Milwaukee with Giannis re-signed and Drew Holiday signed to an extension. What's so interesting about this series, though, between Milwaukee and Miami is just how much they mirror each other. Two coaches who've had elite defensive teams throughout their head coaching career. Just very disciplined, hard-playing teams whose leaders, whose best players, are among the most competitive players in the league. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jimmy Butler, and that Miami group. These two teams are, in a lot of ways, throwbacks to the kind of contenders we used to see in the Eastern Conference. You are going to feel the other guy when this series is over. This is going to be a tough, hard-nosed series.
Watching this regular season played out, the storylines play out, it reminded me how much the Sixers and the Bucks actually have so much in common. Both of those teams were in contention, yet Kawhi goes to the Raptors and Jimmy goes to the Heat, and then both of those teams had to watch those squads win the East. The Celtics took a step back. The Sixers made changes with their front office and their coaching staff. The Bucks lose in the first round. I would anticipate them doing the same. I hope that does not happen. I believe this is a better basketball team. And Jimmy Butler is going to have to be as dominant this year, leading the Heat points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks in order for them to get through this series like they did last year.
I wouldn't have said this last year. The Milwaukee Bucks are a mentally tougher team this year. Like last year, you felt like the way Miami was together, Jimmy Butler, the way they played, they were more of a core unit. And there were a lot of questions around, can Giannis take his team to the next level? Adding those personnel pieces like Drew Holiday, Bobby Portis, and PJ Tucker, it gives him an element of toughness.
Yeah.
It's just not Giannis now who can be an enforcer. Bobby Portis can be an enforcer. PJ Tucker, enforcer. Different team.
All right, it's going to take some mental toughness because we're going to get through this day. The quadruple header starts right about now with the Heat and the Bucks. We will see you.
Ooh, starting playoffs.